right, so it has to be a game. That's the trick. If it's not a game, you're probably not going to come back to it. It's probably not going to be fun. Strength training should be a game. That's how we started Dense Strength, is in gamifying strength training. So you always have that feeling of achieving something within a session. There's a few different versions of Dense. Today we're going to be using the ramping version. So we're going to go front squat into back squat, 5 kilogram jumps until it's not time to jump weight anymore. So we're going to stop when the quality is still higher. This is a good way to practice movement, get a bunch of easy practice in, which is very valuable. And then you also get a test, you also get a score. So starting at 60 kilos, and then we're going to ramp it up. Okay, it's in a heat or something. Yeah, cool. Yeah, you can just look at the timer on the phone. All right. Technical difficulties with the phone. It's back. So earlier sets, earlier reps are a good opportunity to practice whatever technique you want. If you want to do pauses in the mid position, if you want to do slow eccentrics, while the weight's nice and light, you can develop more skill, develop your weakness. Eccentric pauses are easier than concentric pauses. If you pause on the way up and then you have to go again, it really teaches the body to be able to re-accelerate the bar or to be able to grind. Sorry, yeah, 5 kilo total weight. So because it's standardized, that's why it's a game. But it's not simply a game of, okay, how heavy can I lift today? You're accumulating repetitions within the process. So you're practicing as well as getting a number. That's the style of training that makes the most sense to me. Using it with pro athletes, they like buying into the game. They're used to playing for numbers, they're used to playing to win. If there's no scoreboard, then you don't really play with full intensity. If there is a scoreboard, you're likely to play harder. So this one's going to give us a score. What do you think you would get if you had to guess? Depends how familiar with repeat effort training you are. If you're used to long rests, then it might not. You might be a long way from your 1RM from the front squat. But if you're familiar with this type of training, if you're used to this type of training, then it shouldn't be too far away from your 1 rep max in the front squat. Some people might actually squat more than they've squatted before. It's because of the fact of the nice long warm-up. On the Poliquin system, they recommended 8 to 10 warm-up sets. So we'll see how many we end up with, but 8 to 12, somewhere around that range. If you go over the 12, you're likely to get an artificially low reading of a max. If you go under 8, then you might get a low reading as well. Our objective isn't only to get a good strength number, our objective is also to get that training effect. That's where it's best of both worlds. I've been playing around with the dense X as well, which is built around going for maximum repetitions on your final set of the dense. This is something we've used a lot, even with the 10 sets, where you go for maximum smooth repetitions on the last set. It's a good way to judge how much more you've got left in the cycle, but it's also, you can also do it with more emphasis on that one test set and staying fresher using less time. So that's what the dense X is. I'm writing that up again today. That's Kev. So the intensity should just gradually start to sneak up, but there's not much real challenge in this weight. Challenge is more so getting the 2 reps done plus the bar speed, change the weights. Kilos, just under 190 pounds, 187. This method or concept of going straight from front squat into back squat, I first saw from Klokov. Not sure where he saw it from, but you're getting a bit more of a skill stimulus. The back squat should always be pretty easy compared to the front squat. Generally, the front squat will be about 85% of the back squat. So we should find the back squat is always quite easy, even though we've just done the front squat. So there's an element of pre-fatigue. We're just behind the clock. It's tough to get two on the same. But still plenty dense. All right, 100 time. Kind of doesn't, gives the ego a little bit of a rest because it's not going to be a true 1RM. And you're just looking to really maintain quality, build to something that works for the day. But yeah, tons of practice. If you're doing it on your own, you could do it with more tempo as well. Stick into the tempo. You could also start higher. If you wanted more average intensity, you could start higher. So you start at 80 kilos, 90 kilos, and go 2.5 kilo jumps every set. This is a pretty good way to really warm up gradually into it. Certainly some fatigue accumulated now. Strong. What are you thinking, Kev?
You got no chest now. We definitely are primed.
Yeah, you shouldn't be feeling cold at this point. So legs were good, but position started to be lost there. That'll do for me. Strong. One of the ways I like to, here we go, Kev. Nice. One of the cycles I've done to get my front squat up was to do 5 singles. I started at 100 kilos, 5D1, 5 singles on the minute, and then went up 2.5 kilos every session until I got to 120, 125. And that pushed my front squat to a new level, so 130 front squat at that stage. And that was just around also when I snatched 100 kilos. So pushing up the quad strength and the ability to have that knees forward squat is a good way to get at it, and a simple application, how simple strength gains can be. Again, with that 5D1 at 100, it was really easy, and then it slowly creeps up on you session after session. You don't really need to do the hard ones. I probably should have stopped that cycle at about 115, but yeah, I ended up going a little bit further and I didn't hurt myself or anything, but you really don't need to do the more testing reps or uglier reps. You're on your own now, Kev.
Huh?
I can go back squat after you. Oh yeah? Yeah, so going for a new best after all that, pretty solid, but Yeah, you might have ground it out. The thing is, like, there's no real benefit in grinding it out unless you have to hit that number for some reason, or if you know you're safe, you know you recover well from grinding, but generally it's just not worth it. Done for the block, done for me. So simple workout, good way to get a bit of an idea on where you're at with intensity. I know that my squats aren't as good on the heavy weights as they will be, would be, could be, have been, and that's a way to see where you're up to, but also to develop it. So I know that from today's session, the next weight will be, next time I do this, it's going to be better and getting some practice with decent intensity. But yeah, capped by the style of the session. So better to tap out in the way that I did. Definitely feel that the position changed. Need to work on more positional strength on the front squats. So slower work, more pauses, and some higher rep stuff as well. Please ask with any questions. Let me know how you go if you give it a shot yourself. And till next time.